One thing I forgot to do in the last episode was actually to set the production for the new excavation shed that we've got here. So if we go to management and on buildings here, then under extraction, we have the excavation shed. If we double left click that and go over to here, then we can choose the things that we want it to make. At this stage, what I think I'm going to do is go pretty heavy on the clay. And one of the reasons for that is I don't think I need stone just yet. I think we will definitely use this building for stone, but not just at this stage. Stone is something that we're able to get ourselves, and we're going to be doing a lot of mining anyway. So for the same reason, I'm not sure we all need it to get copper either, and we have a ton of straw. So I think let's do a little bit of clay. Let's do some limestone too, and that's more just about building up our limestone stocks. And if we do that, then it'll be useful in the future. At the moment, I'm keeping work intensity to around 75%. I'm assuming that if you go too high and you overwork the workers, then their happiness is going to drop. Talking about happiness, actually, let's have a little look here. We go to management and look at our citizens. Okay, so they're both on 6% right now. So it seems like whatever we're doing in the town, we're providing basic needs. They've got a basic job and all the rest of it. That gives them 6%. I'm sure that if we're able to make upgrades and make things better, we can get that up. But I also don't know how important it is to get it any higher than that just now. The next thing we're going to do is make a road. This was requested by Thor. And we did make a start with the, was this the Tree of Beginnings? I think something like that. I forget now, but we had like the little bit of road coming up and around here as an entrance to our town. But we want to have a road going off down this way. So if I press Q and just go here to roads, then it's pretty simple. We just have to line up where we want it to go. So we'll just go roughly central like this, and we're just going to run off down this way. I wonder if it will clear that tree for us as we go through. But let's just keep going right the way down here to about there. There we go. Now we have a nice road going through our town. Actually, that does, to be fair, look a lot better than how I had it before. Eventually, we might add some side streets and stuff too. But I think that a lot of this stuff might need to be moved and taken down and buildings upgraded and stuff like that. My plan for that at the moment, I'm thinking it would be good to do in a live stream, because I really don't think it makes a super interesting episode. So that might be how we go with that, but we'll see. Now, I had a message here from Obsidian Oak as well about making decorative storages. And if we go to containers, you can see we've got different options here. All of these would need to be bought, and we're a bit low on money. But this one right here, the wicker basket, we can actually make straight away. Now, I thought this was a cool idea. If we place it near the barn, just like there, what we can do then is if we have seeds we want to keep, we can put them in the basket. And what I'll probably do is eventually have a basket for each different type of seed we're going to rotate through. So that way, if we know we need X amount of seeds to replant a certain area of the farm for, say, wheat grain, then we can keep those seeds over in here. And then any others we know are excess that we can use either for crafting or to sell them. And something else I'd like to do that I've sort of got to do in the last episode is to name the chickens. So if we go to management here and animals, we can actually name the chickens and we can name the pigs too. So we've got the two piglets right here. And actually I think this would be good. We'll rename these by pressing H. So if I press H on that, instead of being piglet, we can call it what we want. Now I thought some good names for these could be the two people that donated to me. So this was Equinox, I'm guessing, but 3Equinox578. They gave me a super chat in a previous episode, so we're going to call one piglet Equinox right there. And as for this piglet right here, let's go ahead and rename this guy. And we're going to call this guy, now hopefully I'll get this right. I believe now it's actually pronounced Jaime Cortez 2715. Hopefully I've got a bit closer there for you. I said it wrong. I said Jamie in the last one or something. I was corrected by Jaime. Hopefully that's right. I'm trying. Now, a final thing I'd like to mention is that we did some caving before in the previous episode, and the cave was just up here. You can see we've got our resource storage and stuff like that. And I had a comment from Killam who said that there is actually iron in that cave. I think someone else might have said that too. Apologies if I'm missing someone there. But I think as it's turning nighttime, what I'm going to do now is head up to that cave with my stuff and see how much iron we can mine. So first things first, before we head up there, we're going to go ahead and get rid of anything we don't need and make sure we've got enough food on us. We've got some roasted meat right there. That should be enough. But I will take just a couple of dried meat as well, just in case. It doesn't weigh that much. And if we need food, if we're there for a bit longer, then obviously that's going to be useful. And then just get rid of everything in here too, because lightening the inventory does make a big difference, especially when you're doing something heavy duty like mining. So it's good to get into the habit of doing this. We could have done it when we got up there, because obviously we've got our resource storage up there, which links up, but at least we're being organized doing it this way. We've got a couple of stone pickaxes in here. I think I'll make up a couple more before I go, and then we'll see what iron we can find. So let's go to stone tools, make ourselves up a stone pickaxe. That'll be 3 then. Hopefully that'll be enough. I don't plan to do tons of mining, so I know we did that in the last episode, but I want to check if there is iron up there. A, so I know myself, and B, so you guys know if you're following along and would like to know that information, because I feel like some people would. And also, obviously, it will have a lot of uses to us as well. Well, here we are at the cave, guys, and I have to say I spent a very long time looking around this entire cave. I'm certain there's no iron in there, so I don't know exactly what's happening with that. Do let me know in the comments if anybody else feels that they have found iron in there, or if they haven't, because I'm very confused. People seem pretty sure there was iron in there. but I would bet a lot of money there isn't. I've really been around there, around the whole wall. So yeah, let me know on that one, guys. I recently managed to unlock a building that sounds kind of fun, and that is the donkey building. So if we go to animal husbandry buildings here, there we go, donkey shelter right there. Looks like it's kind of a cool building, and I thought it'd make a nice addition to our little farm area. So that stump's just in the way there. Actually, John, I'm going to dig that stump out because otherwise it's going to be in the way. I have been trying to keep the stumps because people mentioned that to me and said it will make my town ugly if I get rid of too many of them. So we've been doing that for the most part, but sometimes they just get in the way a little bit. Also, this may not be the final location where our town ends up. It's obviously where it is right now, but like we might want to rebuild in the future once we've got more resources and stuff available to us. The early game is mostly just about making sure that we survive and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, let's have a look. So we want to build this one up. I'll go get the resources to do that, do a little time lapse, and then we'll see how this building looks. And the donkey shelter is complete. Pretty cool looking building. It's actually building up quite a nice little farm area that we've got going on here now. If we go inside, not too much to see really. A couple little, I guess you call them stables there for the donkeys. We also got a feeding rack for the animal feed, which is nice. It's not just a trough. It's a bit different. I like the fact that it's different, you know, for different animals. That's cool. And then we got a thing here, a chest, 50 kilo chest as well. And that's it. That's it right there. Now, what we want to do, obviously, is try and procure some donkeys, but they could be very expensive. I'm not entirely sure. So what I'm going to do is just run into town and ask somebody where I can find them. Then we'll go and see the price, and hopefully we can check out a new town. I'm hoping it'll be in one of the towns we haven't been to yet, but let's see. Okay, this guy doesn't look busy at all. We can go and ask him. Where can I find, I guess, farm animals, donkeys? Okay, so it is over in Scaly, apparently. That's where we need to go. And actually, that's not a bad thing because I think seeing Scaly during the summer might be nice anyway. It's a quite good looking town. I'm going to turn off head bobbing and camera shakes, by the way, guys. These two I've left on because that was just the default settings. But I'm going to try turning these off and let's just see. I think this might be actually a fair bit better for recording. It's less immersive, so I think if you're just playing yourself, I'd probably keep them on. But you can see here as I'm looking around, everything looks a little bit more stable. And I reckon that's a better way to proceed with this series. Let me know what you think about that. But we're going to head now off to Scaly. We're on the way to Scaly right now, but I just went past this cave and I thought I'd mention it because we've talked about caving recently. And I wanted to show it on the map. So if we go and scroll right in here like this, you can see there's Scaly. It's just up here, this little area right here. The reason I mention it is I know for a fact there is iron in there and it's a pretty big cave as well. So there's a lot of copper and tin, stuff like that. So if anybody is looking for that, then at least you know where that is. Also, do be aware, copper and tin, well, all the nodes of ores and stuff do reset each season. So when you've done a cave, just wait a season and you can go back. Now, this is Scaly right here. Let's get rid of the heads-up display. I said to you guys I wanted to show it to you again in the summer because it is a really beautiful town. I have to say, look at it. It looks absolutely lovely, doesn't it? Really nice landscaping and just a really nice environment around here. And something that I really enjoy about this game is playing it and getting like immersed into this sort of environment. Canada is one of my favorite places I've ever been to, and this reminds me a lot of that, so maybe that's why. But we're heading in here right now, not so much to just enjoy the view, of course, but to look for donkeys, which I think are going to be too expensive. I'm pretty sure this is a wasted journey, but at least we will know exactly how much we need to raise. So let's see if there's any donkeys around here. So it looks like the donkeys are just down here. Let's jump over here. We can go have a look at them. Before we look at the price, though, I'll show you guys exactly where they are on the map in case you're ever struggling to find them. So down in Scaly, you can see here, you follow the road down along with the river to your right-hand side. Eventually, you'll come down to this little area here, and you should be able to find them. So let's have a look. Wait, 600? Okay, that is a lot cheaper than I thought it'd be. So that's for a male donkey right there. And this is a foal, so a young donkey, right? And that's a female for 405. And the dude is also 405. So 810, we could have them both. Right now, we've got 374, so we don't have enough of them. But they're a lot cheaper than horses. So that's the goal for today's episode, just get enough to buy a donkey. I'm going to have a think now about what the best options are for me to make some money. Then we'll come back here and buy them once we've got enough. One thing I will do whilst I'm here is have a look near the campfire just outside of Scaly, just down there. This is where all the villagers are that we can hire that live near this town. I just want to see, now we've gone further afield, do we get to hire people that have better stats, or are they about the same? So let's go into inspector mode and let's see. Looks to me like they're about the same. So I guess going further afield doesn't affect the stats. Not sure if like later on in the game we're able to hire people that have better stats or not, or if they always start off like that and then we just have to like train them up, which they do get better over time just from doing their job. But I thought it was worth a look while we're here. Incidentally, I had a few comments about Jack the Ripper here. Turns out he's actually doing the opposite of attacking people at night. He's keeping us safe. So this is why he roams the streets at night with his torch. I think it's to keep like wild animals and bandits and things like that away. I wasn't aware of that, so he did creep up on me on the last episode, which was quite funny. But I thought I'd mention it because I think it's actually a really nice feature, nice detail, and other people might not have been aware of that too. But yeah, he's basically our security guard for the town. Now you can see here, we're almost at the new season at the top of the screen, and I'm basically just waiting for that to happen. I might actually just go to sleep now. I just finished crafting up a load of bronze, and we're not going to use that for anything right now because we basically can't craft any tools with this right now. We're not at that level. But you can see here, it sells for 90, or that's the value of it. We have 34 of them. So we get about 1,500 because it sells for probably about 45 in the market if we sell all that. That's going to be probably the first thing we do as soon as it turns to the new season. And then we'll have enough money for our donkeys. So we'll go ahead and sleep and rush that through. So we are now in summer, as you can see right here. And you can actually tell that by the color of the tree at the top of the screen. Somebody gave me a tip on that in a previous video. But you see the yellow tree there, that's summer. And I think like green is spring, orange is like autumn, something like that, blue is winter. But what we have to worry about right now is we're wearing stuff right now that could potentially make us too hot. So this linen shirt is good because it gives us heat protection as well as cold protection, so that's fine. But if we take a look at something like the thick leather gloves, that just gives us cold protection and we don't need that, so let's take those off because we can actually overheat during the winter, during the summer, so we do need to be careful of that. Again, the fur boots right here, that gives -8 heat protection. Obviously, it's good for the cold, but not good for right now. So we'll take those off and we'll swap them for the simple shoes. I'm guessing the cap as well. Oh no, the cap actually gives heat protection, interestingly enough. You wouldn't have thought that, or at least I wouldn't have. But that's okay, that's cool. So yeah, just worth mentioning if you're playing in your worlds and you're overheating, it's to do with that. Now that we've done that though, let's put some simple shoes on. And there we go. This is going to be our, let's have a look at this. This is our dashing summer attire. It's very similar to the winter attire, to be honest, but there we go, it works. Now, I'm wondering if I can actually do all of this bronze in one go. I suspect not because of being overburdened, but let's put it all in and see. And we are overburdened, but you know what? We're going to start heading there. The market wouldn't be open just yet anyway, I don't think, because it's literally just turned daytime. And those crops up there might be ready to harvest. I can't actually tell from here. And because we're overburdened, I don't want to waste time. Let's head right into town and sell all of this. But then we'll go ahead and check on those. So it might be a case of doing a bit of farming and a bit of donkeying. Well, buying donkeys. Sorry, sounds better. Let's see how we go with that. Okay, so let's talk to this dude right here. Show me your wares, and we're going to sell you the bronze bars, as many as we can. That's all 38. Do we have one left there? I don't think so. But so now our coins, as you can see down the bottom here, 2,084. So if I go up here, you can see a better view of that. That's a lot of coins. That's pretty good. The donkeys are not going to be anywhere near that much. The question now is, do we want to get the adult donkeys, spend the extra on those, or go for the younger ones? Obviously, my philosophy so far has been to go for the younger ones, and that's been saving money. So like we got a lot of chicks, although we did get a couple of chickens because they're cheap. But when it came to the pigs, we went just for piglets. So I'm going to have a look into it. See, to be honest with you, I don't even know why we need donkeys. Just like we were able to build a donkey shelter, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Maybe we should do that. But I'm not entirely sure what they're used for and stuff. So I'm going to have a look into them, and then we'll make a bit of a plan once I know. Okay, wow, guys, I really didn't realize this. So the donkeys actually work as horses. I thought we had to get a horse before we technically had a mount that we could basically ride around on and carry extra weight. That is not the case. So because of that, we are going to go for 2 adult donkeys. So what we're going to do is head down to Scaly right now, down here, and go get those donkeys, go buy them from there. And we're going to go for adults. I'm pretty sure we can afford the adults. We've got a lot of money. Because if that's the case, then the extra goods that we can carry and the faster transportation it'll be a lot of fun, which is always the main thing when you're gaming, right? But also very productive for our series. So I think it's definitely worth the extra cost. So let's head to Scaly. Okay, so here are the donkeys. Let's have a look right here. And I guess what we want to do is buy 1 male and 1 female, and then hopefully they'll breed. And in the future, we can sell our own donkeys or just keep breeding them for other uses. So let's go ahead and do it. It's going to be 1,200 in total. So put you in the donkey shelter right there, and put you in the donkey shelter too. So right there, there we go. Now we just have to run home. I was hoping we could ride at home, but then I realized I don't even have a saddle or anything anyway. So I'm assuming that's the next thing that we need to do is find a way of crafting a saddle if we can. I get the feeling that's beyond us though at the moment, and we're probably going to need like linen or stuff like that for it. But I'm not certain. I will look into it. But if not, we can hopefully go and buy a saddle to sort of complete the donkeyness, right? So then we can actually ride the donkey, which sounds super fun. Okay, guys, I am so excited right now. I'm back at my farm, and our pig grew up. Look at this, actually grew up. We have an adult pig right now. So I think that's going to be great. We're going to start getting things from these pigs like manure and stuff. Plus, they could start breeding. And I'm pretty sure they grew up in just one season. And now I'm thinking, have all of our chicks grown up too? Let's have a look. I mean, it doesn't look like they're around here. I have to have a little wander around, but let's see what we can find. Wait, this dude didn't grow up yet. This one's not quite as old. They have slightly different ages. Oh, there's some manure. Lovely. Look at that, guys. We can pick up poop. That is wonderful. Okay, you're slightly younger then, aren't you? So that's cool. Oh, so that you're dating an older lady because you're the male. So we got a cougar pig in our encampment. I'm not seeing any chicks. So I don't... Oh, hello. Yep, don't know if they've all grown up or what. Actually, you know what's probably a way to check this. If we go to management and let's see, go to animals and chickens. Yeah, we don't have any chicks now. They're all hens. We still got the one piglet. So Equinox, you're still the piglet. And let me think, how would I say this again? Jaime, I think that was right. You are now the grown up. And let's see, you're double the age. So that's real cougar business, Jaime. You're definitely the cougar of the pack. So these hens here, 2 of the hens are 0.5. The other one's 1. Because it's not saying chick, I think that means that we have all hens. And that's great if we do. It looks like there are a lot of them walking around here. I'm not seeing chicks, so I'm pretty sure. Because we're going to get ourselves a lot of extra eggs and things now, right? So obviously our production's about to go up. And there's actually 2 in that nest. I haven't seen... Excuse me, my voice failed me there for a second. I was going to say I haven't seen that yet, though. 2 eggs in the one nest, so that's really cool. On top of that, our farm is growing. And let's see, if we go into the management section right here, because it's hard to tell how much of this field right here is ready for harvest. All of it. Okay, fantastic. That is really, really cool. So the flax here, I didn't know if it grew tall on that. It doesn't. We've got the cabbages right here, you can see. And we can just pick those up. We've got carrots here. Man, everything's coming together in this episode. This is absolutely awesome. Now, I got sidetracked by the pigs and things, but the donkeys right here is what we actually came back for. So let's run up to this dude here and see. We can hold down E to saddle up. You need a saddle to ride. Okay, cool. And then you can open up a saddle bag. So this is the inventory of our mount. It can carry 30 kilos. Now, I haven't given it a bag or anything. Can I just put stuff on top of him? Yeah, although I could have chosen something better. I literally just chucked poop on our new donkey. That's probably not very nice. But it looks like they can carry stuff before you even buy them. Because you can get like saddle... like mount saddles, mount pouches, I think is what I was trying to say. Basically, you can put bags on the donkeys and things. We're going to head into town, see if we can afford a saddle right now, and also look and see if I can make one. Now, I believe that if we can make a saddle, it's surely going to be made in the sewing hut, right? So let's have a look over here and see what the materials would be required if we look to make one ourselves. So there's this mount section right here. We have the saddle right there. It needs wool, it needs linen. We're not at that stage yet. We'd also have to spend 500 just to unlock it. So looking forward to getting to that stage, but we're not quite there yet. So instead, we're going to head into town and see if we can buy one. Not even sure what vendor we'd actually buy it from, but let's try and find that out. Okay, so the saddle can be bought here from Imasloa, I think is how I say that, but 720 coins. It's not cheap, guys. It's really not. And if I was playing just for fun, I might not buy one of these just yet. But because we're doing videos on this, I feel like I should. Let's buy it. Let's get on the donkey and see how that works. It's going to be a bit of fun, and it's also going to show you guys the process. I think that, you know, getting to the point where you've got a mount in this game is quite a nice progression. So let's give it a go and see how we do. Okay, so our donkeys are wandering around at the moment. Let's go ahead and hold down E there. We can saddle this one up. And now we can, hold down E again. And we ride him. Yeah, here we go. So we are now able to ride this donkey. That is so cool. And this right here or something similar, that's the thumbnail right there for sure. You guys will see that. So riding the donkey around, looks like the donkey does have energy as well that depletes. You can see the green bar over there. But we can ride him around and it's really increased our carry weight because right now in our inventory, we've got the 65 kilos. If we jump off the mount, in fact, how do we do that? Okay, I've got to hold down X to dismount. Okay, that's cool. Then we can, let's see, open the saddle bag and like I say, put 30 kilos on right there, minus the 4 that is for the saddle, but that's fair enough. That's awesome, guys, and very, very exciting. I think we need a name for the donkey. If you guys want to suggest names for any of the animals, let me know. I'll get you guys involved then, and we'll do some renaming in the next episode, perhaps. It just occurred to me that we should probably buy some animal feed here. So let's buy, I don't know, maybe 5 for now, just to get us through the night, so that we can actually feed our donkeys. I was planning on using some farm materials to do it, and I've been doing some farming, but then it was getting quite dark, and I thought, well, if I don't feed them through the night, it's probably not very good for them. They'll be hungry. And I think potentially they can wander off or die or just be less productive. I'm not entirely sure what happens if they're not fed properly, but I do know that either way, it's not good news. So let's go and chuck them some food and then they'll be a bit happier. So here we go. Looks like the donkeys are actually coming in for the night. And it also looks like they're producing quite a lot of manure right there as well. So let's go ahead and fill up this feeding rack for them. There they go. They've got 10%. Should be enough to get them through for now. And let's see how much manure we're going to get out of these two as well. So there we go. We've got 8 manure out of those right there. And in the backpack right here, we can see it. And you can see here, we can craft that into fertilizer at the workbench in the barn. Let's actually have a look at the ratio of that while we're here, because I'm not entirely sure what ratio that is. You can see the farm, by the way. I told you I did a lot of farming. and that's really coming along nicely. So the workbench in the farm is here, and let's see here. So there we go. We can get 1 fertilizer for every 2 manure, so that's not too bad. You can see I'm storing my flax here. We've got 350 flax already, so that's pretty good. We'll keep the manure in there as well for now, or we go and harvest the rest of the farm. Now, a couple of people have commented something here that you can see from SJP Finnegan, and basically it's to do with town management. So what we want to do in town management right here is go into the resources area, which is, let's see, in here. And for things like the wood items, for example, we only want them to use firewood. So let's go ahead and make them not use any of that. They'll just use the firewood rather than taking up our sticks and our logs. And then under food items right here, we want to have a look as well at any food that we've got and make sure we want them to eat it. So roasted meat, yes, we definitely want them to eat that. As for raw meat, we don't want them to eat that ever. If it is in the storage, I've been trying to keep it separate, but if it does end up in there, let's not have them eating that. We'd be much better off to cook that. And what else? I mean, any of these farm goods as well, I wouldn't want them eating those. So as I go through the farming of them, I'll do this. And probably what I'll do is spend a lot of time doing this off camera because I don't think this is overly interesting for you guys to watch. But I did want to mention it because it's something you want to keep on top of. And another thing we need to do in regards to the management is actually get some tools for our workers. So this is something that's needed to be done throughout today. Let's see here. So the excavation shed and the wood shed, that's both our workers. They both need tools. And yeah, so it's been needed to done throughout this episode, but I've just been focusing on other things. But through the nighttime right now, that's what I'm going to do. Work on the town management, get all the tools in place. And the final thing I might do during the evening is convert some of that flax. I think we use the flax over here. Let me look into this a second. Yeah, so on the spinning wheel right here, we're going to buy this scheme for 50 coins if we want to do it. I'm sure I will, but I'll buy it at the time. But then we can turn our flax stalk into linen thread. And with the linen thread, there are all kinds of possibilities. So although we're quite low on money, especially if we spend that 50 on the linen thread unlocking there, we will unlock a lot of recipes that are going to make us very profitable items like clothing and stuff like that. So in the long run, we're going to make some money. We're just struggling a little bit as you do in the early game. So as I said, I'm just taking a look at what I can do with flax here during the evening. And if I come to the threshing floor, we see over here that if we use up 2 flax, then we get 2 flax stalk and a flax seed. So really, there's no reason not to do just about all of this stuff. So 322. Let's go. Now, let's see. It's going to be a couple seconds each, so I guess a few minutes, right? So I've got my video on the second monitor. See you guys when this is done. Okay, so with that done, we're going to head now over to the spinning wheel and look to turn pretty much all of it into linen thread. I'm not sure what other uses it really is going to have for us at this stage, so we're going to go ahead and unlock this, craft this up. We can do 128 linen thread. Let's just do it. You know, we can always grow more flax. People right now might be shouting at the screen if I am making a mistake. But that's what we're going to do for our evening. And then in the morning, we'll look at maybe what we can do with that linen thread. Or maybe for the rest of the evening. I don't know how long's left of the night time, to be honest. Well, that's quite some time. And I'm not surprised I've got a new level of production there because we were doing quite a lot of that. Let's see. We've got the linen thread here. And 1 linen thread, as you can see there, is worth 17. Now, to craft the linen thread, we need 5 flax stalk. And if we go to the flax stalk in my inventory, you can see that's only worth 3. So it is worth slightly more to have the linen thread. But what I'm really hoping, of course, is we can turn this into something a bit more useful. And that's going to be this thing here, the linen fabric. But first, we need to get up to 50 coins to buy the scheme. So I'm going to go to market right now. I'll find something that I can sell. And once we've got those 50 coins, we'll see what that entails. So I've got a ton of rye here, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. So I think I'm actually going to sell a lot of this. Like if I sell like 100 of it, I'll get a couple hundred coins out of that, which might be useful. So let's go and do that. And it still leaves us 96 rye left in there. So if there is stuff we want to do with it, then there's still things that we can do. But what I'm thinking as well is once we've done that, we've got the linen thread turned into the linen cloth or whatever it is, then obviously we'll have a lot more money too. Okay, so let's go over here and look to sell this rye. So there we go, 250 coins for that. That's awesome. And now we're just going to head back and buy the scheme for those 50 coins, and then we can start making some more of the linen. So here we are back at the loom, and if we go to craft now and we buy the linen fabric, that's what I was looking for before, that scheme up. And yeah, I mean, let's just turn it all into linen fabric. There's no real reason not to. We don't need the other linen stuff. We just want to turn it into fabric and then see what we can do with that once it's produced. Okay, that was a lot of crafting, and yeah, there we go. Another new level of production. Again, no surprises there. Let's see where we're at here, though. The linen fabric. Now, this is worth 28 per time. We got over 100 there. So if we sold 100 of that, that'd be 2,800 right there. I mean, that is decent money for this stage of the game. However, we might be able to do even better than that again. Let's see what our other options here are as to what we can craft. So for example, we can make up like linen shirts here, and they do require linen thread as well, so we need more flax for that. But I guarantee they're going to sell for more than obviously just selling the thread on its own. On top of that, there's all kinds of things here, like tunics and stuff like that, but these need wool, so that's not as good. But I'm having a little look around, just seeing what my options are. I also noticed I have 322 flax seeds on me. And so what I'm thinking is they can only be planted during spring. So we've literally just missed that because we've entered into summer. But next spring, I want to plant like a good chunk of them. I want to make a huge farm, plant loads of those, and get onto the flax making industry, if you like. Probably even hire someone to do that stuff for us at that point, and then we can produce a whole lot. But in the meantime, we got $2,800 worth of linen thread or linen fabric just sat here. So I'm gonna have a think about what I might want to do that, but I might just sit on it for now, and then we know it's there if we need it in the future. If you're enjoying this series, please do consider subscribing. And if you just want to see a lot more of the series, why not go back and watch it from the start again? The video to do that is on screen right now. But seriously, guys, thank you all so much for all the support throughout the series. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.